Good morning, Eagles. My name's Ian Murphy, and welcome to EEN After Hours. We have a lot of fun stuff in store for you. First things first, we have an announcement from Brooke Kalis about the ABC Countdown.
Hello, class of 2022. This is your weekly update for your ABC Countdown.
Today's April 4th through April 8th. When we come back from spring break on April 4th, the day is going to be Z.
For 0 to Hero, which means wear your Marvel or DC or any Disney hero you could think of.
And on Tuesday, April 5th, we have Y, which is You're a Superstar. So that means dress like your favorite celebrity.
And for April 6th, we have the letter X for exchange role.
Teachers dress as students and students dress as teachers. And on Thursday, April 7th, we have W, which is white lie t-shirts.
So make sure to get your white t-shirt before they run out.
And on Friday, April 8th, we have V-Day, which is Vintage Day. Wear any thrifted or vintage clothes.
Along with that, we have another funny segment from Gavin Murray and Jake Purcell. They're going to be talking about dad jokes or something. I don't know. It's a laugh.
What did the ocean say to the beach?
What?
I'm already laughing and I didn't even...
I'm up 1-0.
Nothing. It just waved.
Cricket.
Did you hear about the kidnapping today at school? It's okay. He woke up.
What do you call a monkey that likes Doritos?
What?
A chipmunk.
Someone stole my mood ring yesterday. I'm still not sure how I feel about that.
What do you call it when a snowman throws a tantrum?
What?
A meltdown.
It's not bad. How many Lakes athletic directors does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know. How many?
Depend how high the light fixture was.
What do you call a poor Santa Claus?
I don't know.
St. Nicholas.
That was almost an obligatory laugh, though.
Do you know the last thing my grandfather said before he kicked the bucket? Grandson, watch how far I can kick this bucket.
You know, the other day my wife told me that I was really immature, so I told her to get out of my fort.
Nobody. And finally, on a more serious note, I'll get a segment about the book Genderqueer and its movement behind the desk at the library.
Genderqueer, an award-winning graphic novel by Maya Kobabe, details their life and journey discovering their sexual and gender identity. The book has drawn controversy, however, as it has recently been moved behind the circulation desk at Lakes High School. According to concerned community members in a December Board of Education meeting, the book was too graphic for younger students, featuring drawings of nudity and a sex toy. Although the content may be considered shocking by some, it is not without context.
I think it's just another expression of sexuality that teenagers aren't too immature to understand. I mean, I've heard lots of people say various things, no explicit details, but I think it's something normal and fine, and it's not as graphic as I think people like to make it try and sound.
It also allows for a lot of people who don't exactly know what being LGBTQ actually is to learn and educate so that they can maybe address it better in the future, or maybe it'll allow someone else to find something about themselves that they didn't realize beforehand.
As a trans man, just straight up a man, not an NB, there's a lot of similarities between me and the author that are just really important to us. It makes a lot of sense. And just knowing that I'm not the only one who feels that way, even if we're different, is incredible.
Though the book is still accessible by students, it has to be requested specifically, and they must sign a waiting list to get the book. This is after it underwent a formal review in January and February, and was initially approved to stay on the library shelves.
So this is what happens when we have purchased a book and then put it on our shelves, and then somebody who is a concerned community member, whether that is a parent, a member who lives inside of our community, a student, has issue with a book. They will fill out a form that kind of states what their issues with that book is, what specific passages they have an issue with, And then the committee sort of meets together and talks through the book. They read the book, they read our procedures, and then they make a decision based off of that. I think it was either the first or second week of January, then we all met together and then unanimously decided to keep the book on the shelf based on the criteria and just some other things that we thought were important about this book. After that, I think there was still quite a bit of concern from the community about this book, and administration met with some of those parents and concerned community members to really figure out a solution that would make kind of all parties happy.
Many students and parents claim, however, the drawings are not uncommon or even very shocking for high school students. One speaker at last night's school board meeting, a substitute teacher in the district, claimed they could think of numerous examples off the top of their head with language and imagery far worse than genderqueer.
I knew about it at 13, and I was allowed to read whatever I wanted at 13. I mean, I'm a Lakes Diversity Ambassador and stuff, and I like to think I turned out okay.
This unfortunately leads some students to believe that there is a homophobic or transphobic agenda behind the push against the book, despite what some community members say. At least one student has received homophobic and hateful emails from peers regarding genderqueer. Lake student Leah Neveu created a petition with over 500 signatures to get the book put back on library shelves.
I made the petition because I think it needs awareness about what was going on and how this wasn't really being talked about, and more people needed to know about why this book was being behind the shelf and how there's none other books that are behind the shelf. Our end goal is to have this book back on the shelves where people can walk into the library, see it on a shelf, pick it up and check it out, rather than going up to the librarian saying, hey, I want to know if this book is in, and being put on a wait list.
Lake's principal Dave Newberry has assured the community that all counselors and social workers will have copies of the book on hand, so students can have a way to access the book without having to out themselves publicly. Students continue to raise concerns, though, as if a parent does not wish for their student to check out the book, they can call the school and have them restricted from accessing it.
I think if this fully stands and there's no compromise made, it's going to be easy for people to push an anti-LGBT message and get more books restricted.
In general, if it's not immediately visible or on the shelf, we may not know it exists.
Restricting this book is sending a message to any incoming freshmen especially that Lakes is less of a safe place than perhaps they imagined, and I think that's a dangerous message to have people think. I want my high school to be a place where everybody feels safe to be who they are, to read what they want, to make their own decisions.
Superintendent Dr. Jim McKay has stated at last night's school board meeting that he intends to have the district re-review Genderqueer and other similar books. Ian Murphy, Eagle Eye News.
All right, thank you all for watching. I do want to note with the segment, I went to the school board meeting last night when you're watching this, and I did look at all the public comments and listen to all the public comments. I didn't interview anybody there. I think it would harm the spirit of EEN if I interviewed a bunch of parents and put them on a school newspaper. I think that's way too open to just generally like influencing and biasing the student news. But that's a more serious note. On a lighter note, thank you all for watching. My name's Ian Murphy, and this has been EEN After Hours.